I'm sure people dye their hair gray too.
Should I try to dye my hair platinum?
I think.
And my eyebrows?
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be intense. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, everything's awesome. I'd be like,
You would look surprised all the time.
Yeah, a 60-year-old trying to be young again? Like, this is a weird look.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the P-Funk and Fro Show. My name is Austin Flume, and with me, as always,
Anthony Gorman.
this is episode 40.
Yeah, that's what I was like, whoa, shoot.
We hit another 10 years.
Yeah,
Still impressive.
another 10 years.
Another 10 years. Still don't know how to count.
Yeah, 40. What the hell does that make us?
I
How
don't
long? Whatever.
I don't know.
You
like
do
80,
the math.
80,000 yeah, nobody does. Facebook.com/group/P-Funk-and-Fro. If you're already there, I love you. If you're not there yet, I could love you.
We hate you. Oh,
Okay, well,
just
you
kidding.
know. We'll call it an area for growth, not necessarily a problem.
Yeah.
Getting all politically correct.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were you just talking about?
I'm starting to knock around ideas for a big, like the bigger trip, like vacation for like the upcoming year,
Yeah.
upcoming like vacation season. Now that our vacation days have been reloaded, locked and loaded, tax return money's coming in. I'm saving most of mine for just like a big trip. I think just putting in savings just because I don't know what I want to do with it yet. And then I already have like other savings saved up, so I'm getting more freedom financially and time now.
Yep.
So, Patrick at work, we were talking about, I think he brought it up. It was an Amtrak. You can go from Cincinnati to Chicago, and then Chicago all the way across the country into San Francisco. Yeah, which you see like the countryside, the mountains, the plains, all that, and then you end up in San Francisco, and then train all the way back. But that turned out to be kind of really expensive for like a sleeper car. Like you can do it kind of on the cheap. I meant to bring this up with Patrick. Someone from Europe was on Reddit, and they said how they bought an Amtrak pass, but they had like a month and a half or 2 months to like go around the country. But it was like once you get that, then it's just $440 for your wherever you want to go.
Well, shoot.
For a certain amount of time. So I'm like, yeah, it's like a plane ticket to a far off place.
Yeah.
But you can kind of like just train around everywhere. But so then I was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. And then I kept reading further, but then you still have to pay extra for like a sleeper car.
Oh, do you?
So then it's like on top of that, it's probably another $100 and something every time you want a sleeper car one way. And it's like, then it can start getting expensive again. But if you want to just like bum it and sleep in your seat and stuff, that's pretty cheap to like go across the country both ways for $440. Just like bumming it.
Yeah.
Which I could kind of think about doing that, but it would just suck sleeping in a seat every time.
Yeah, and so did you check to see if it would be $100 per trip, or is it?
I feel like
Look this up right now.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it was like $450 for the pass, and then for the sleeper car, I don't know. I feel like it was like $150 for like each way.
Okay.
On top of that, which I guess isn't that bad.
Okay.
It could be even more. I remember I was like, it's still kind of pricey.
I'm gonna Google it right now because that trip idea sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is. Their website's kind of
this website
interesting.
Looks like a GeoCities website.
Yeah, and it's not real easy to navigate, and it's also
A room
kind of annoying.
What is a room?
Yeah. Now, I don't even remember seeing the Amtrak pass on the site when Patrick and I were looking at it.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I'm sure the information's on there, but their website kind of sucks. Just
yeah.
FYI.
We'll look at it later.
But so that was one idea, and I got like super stoked about that. Then it was like super expensive.
Yeah, that makes me really excited to think about.
And then, yeah, just that trip. Imagine, because you can get picked up close to where I'm living at Grand, what do they call that down Cincinnati? Grand Terminal, Central Terminal Station,
I don't know, man,
something.
you live there.
It's like, yeah, I know. I haven't been there in a long time, but Grand Terminal, it's those words.
Union
but not
Terminal?
That, yeah, Union Terminal. That's
Union Terminal.
That sounds right. And probably because it's right. So you go from there to Chicago, and then Chicago. I was just like, oh man.
So you just in the train the whole time, or are there any stops, or are you just in the train?
I think there was one bus from one stop to another, but it was just like a 30-minute bus ride, just once.
Oh, okay.
For this one route.
So
there's a couple routes you can take.
How long is the bus ride?
30 minutes.
No, well,
you're
okay, not the
usually
bus
on.
ride, but the Amtrak. So how long is
it
from
was-
Chicago to San Francisco? How long is that?
Oh, I can't even remember. I even looked it up a week ago. I want to say 4 or 5 days each way.
So we're in a bus for 5 days?
No,
Or
no,
an
no.
Amtrak
That's the
for 5
whole
days?
trip. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Train.
So are there any times to like get out and look at the places that you're stopping at? Or? Not many?
It kind of didn't really seem that way.
Okay, so it's just kind of staying in a train.
Yeah, if you wanted to stop, like, say 3 times on the way out and then on the way back, that'd be a long trip. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like a.
That's
Plus,
true.
who knows how long you have to wait for the next train.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
one of
true.
those things. I'm sure stopping for refueling, because I think the trains are like diesel. Like, you probably get stops, but. And then you got to account, like, food, and then it starts getting pricey.
I
Like, because
see.
the food on there, drinks are, like, super expensive.
Yeah,
So it's like.
that makes sense. I like the idea, but not 100% train 100% of the time, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I would love to, like. Well, you could probably go to Chicago, spend a day in Chicago,
Yeah.
and then, like, to plan out
Right.
that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then on the way out, you'd almost have to have like 2 to 3 weeks to like fully stop and go.
That's
and
true.
Then it'd be like,
yeah, depending on where you go.
right.
So maybe if we did something to like Minneapolis or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be
Because I've
fun.
never been to Minneapolis, and it's
Hell,
one of
even
those
just to
cities-
Chicago, just the
Chica-
train ride.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the most picturesque on the way up, but it'd
No,
still
but
be
still,
interesting.
it's still
It'd be
cool.
fun.
Yeah, just something different.
Because no one would have to worry about paying attention to driving or parking or
Yeah.
anything like that. You just drop off at a train station and just
Oh man,
hoof it. That
I
would be
love
kind
that.
of fun.
We could do that this weekend.
Yeah, it could be a
would
mini
easy.
trip. Yeah. Yeah, and it from like Cincinnati to Chicago wasn't that really that expensive.
No,
If you-
I imagine. I mean, even to drive, it's only 4.5 hours,
Right.
so it can't be
So
that
if-
long of a train
Yeah,
ride.
if you took your own car, if you like did a rental car, it'd be comparable, like the train. I felt like,
Mm,
but like if you use your own car, it's still gonna be cheaper to drive yourself up there.
I
but
see. But it's the
then you have
experience.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Half
Oh,
the
I
fun
totally
would have
get
been
it.
train.
I totally get it.
But then one
yeah.
day, like out of nowhere, I just started. I don't know how I even came to this. It just like hit me because I've seen like the northern and central part of the West Coast. I was
Mhm.
like, I wonder if I could do another like run through the cities, but in the southern part.
oh,
And then I started thinking, I was like, oh, there's not, because San Francisco is where I stopped, and I didn't want to do another city again. Just knocking ideas around in my head.
mm-hmm.
And then it like hit me. It was almost exactly the same feeling that I got when I was initially planning my last West Coast trip. I was just like, oh, this is perfect. It's almost coming together on its own.
Mm-hmm.
This is what
Mhm.
happened. So, I was just on Google Maps because Google Maps is awesome.
Yep.
And I think what hit me was because I haven't been to Las Vegas either. And then I was like, oh, shoot. Tickets to Las Vegas are cheap as hell. That would be a great one-way entry
Mm-hmm.
to out there. Because when you look at Las Vegas, it's unbelievably close to the West Coast. Closer than I would just think.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, crap. And what came together with this plan was flying to Las Vegas, stay there 2 nights.
Okay, this is separate from the train thing completely.
Completely. This is a whole
Okay, it's
different
a whole
one.
different idea that you have.
Because like I kind of got dejected because it was going to take a lot of vacation days and it was kind of expensive to
Yep.
do the train thing.
and
So I
really,
was
it's so many days on a train at the same time. I can
right,
see that
and then
because like in your mind, I can see that. Oh, we're on a train. It's gonna be like Harry Potter, but I can
Right.
see in like an hour. It's like how much longer are
or
we gonna
day
be on a train?
2 even.
Yeah. Day
Plus-
1, hour 2.
Plus, think about the internet and cell phone coverage
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're out in a plane. So it's almost like you really, it'd be great. It would be a fun solo trip, even like if you're
Yeah.
a writer or you
Yeah.
loved reading, which I love. Like it would be a good excuse to like write and read and just be in like a Zen type thing and see like picturesque countryside,
Very
even if
true.
you go with other people. But it's almost you have to go into it with that mind frame that there's gonna be a lot of downtime,
Yep.
a lot of like chill and relaxed time. So it's not going to be like action packed.
Yeah, my thing with it would be like you're saying, it would be an excuse to have chill downtime. I would take my 3DS. I
Yeah,
would take
yeah.
all the games that I have that are mobile. I would take a
Right.
bunch of books, and I could probably read through like 2 or 3 books easy. and play
Exactly.
a crap ton of games.
Especially since we're kind of like getting into books, or
Yeah.
at least I am.
Yeah.
Plus, I have like a lot of mobile technology, which I love having excuses to use.
Same.
So it'd be like,
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So that would be good.
Our brains are very similar
Yeah.
in trajectory. I see.
Exactly.
Yep.
But so the southern West Coast trip would be Las Vegas 2 nights flying, and it's like $130 a flying one way there. At any time,
mhm.
you can find deals like that.
It's
And,
what's the where do you get the cheap flights? It starts with an A, right? Alliance.
Oh, I don't. I just use Google
Here, I'll Google it real quick.
because Google
Keep
has
talking.
the Trivago type thing where it like brings up everything.
Allegiant. Allegiant.
I've heard of that. I've never actually used
It's
it.
my mom uses it all the time to fly to Florida.
Okay, I'd be
And it's
interested in that.
mega cheap. It goes a few different
carriers?
cities. I'll have to check it.
Or what airlines do they use?
Let me check that real quick.
Allegiant. I have heard of that.
Yeah.
'Cause I think my sister does something. Yeah, that looks kind of familiar.
Yeah. I'll look into it, but keep talking about your Las Vegas idea.
So holy cow, Las Vegas for 2 nights, and then from Vegas rent a car. So you don't have a car for 2 days, which is fine because there's so Airbnbs by Vegas were pretty cheap.
Nice.
And
Or
then-
hostels.
Well, so I looked at hostels there. There was like one that had the highest rating on Hostel World, but it was like the highest rating was 8.5, which is whatever. Like in Seattle, the one I stayed at was like 9.5.
Oh,
and
really?
Everybody loved
they're
it,
not
and
the
it was
best.
excellent. Yeah.
I kind of like
City
the idea
hostel.
of staying in a bad hostel, though.
That too, it did, but it kind of looked. I mean,
Did it
it
look
would be
grimy?
fine. Like, I was kind of half thinking with groups or half solo. If I was solo doing it, I'd probably. I don't know. I really don't know. Again, because I just touched upon this, but so
Right.
it'd be like Vegas 2 nights, and then from Vegas drive to San Diego, and then San
Okay.
Diego stay like 3 to 4, because then one day go to Tijuana, Mexico. And then from San Diego, go up to Los Angeles for 3 to 4 days, because that city's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe even do like a little pit stop, and then fly from Los Angeles back to home.
That sounds like a fantastic trip.
So it'd be Las Vegas,
a 5-day
San
vacation day
Diego.
trip?
Oh no, it'd be more than that.
Oh, okay.
Las Vegas, San Diego, Tijuana, and Los Angeles.
And that would be the West Coast trip
those
for
are
this year?
4. That's a solid 4 cities of fun. And that would be kind of like, I don't know. I just, for some reason, and it's really not that much driving. Like I did the Google, like from Las Vegas to San Diego was not long at all. So you could leave at like 9 or 10 in the morning and still have a decent amount.
Mm.
And then plus you could plan stops along the way. But then, so you would really only have the car from Las Vegas and then in San Diego, Tijuana. And then once you got to L.A.,
Uh-huh.
drop the car off, and then you don't pay for a rental car for the next 4 days. So you really only need it for like a rental car, just for pricing.
Right.
You only really need a rental car for like 3-4 days max on this trip. So I'm like, oh shoot, that's cheap.
That's not bad.
And then flights from LA back to CVG is not that expensive either. It's
So
more than
So I just looked up CVG to LA and it looks like $150 ish.
or opposite. So Los Angeles, you mean?
No, this is
Las
Cincinnati.
Vegas,
This
I
is Cincinnati to Las Vegas. So let me look up the opposite.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I think I saw one.
Yeah, like $150 is nothing for it.
No,
I'm pretty sure. Wait, well, yeah. Let me check real quick. That wasn't round trip. I think that was just one way. That'd be insane if it was round trip. $75.
Yeah, I would just do that to hang out for a day. You know.
Right.
And San Diego and Los Angeles has a ton of hostels. But for some reason, Las Vegas didn't really, at least maybe Hostel World, the website. I really trust Hostel World because it's like the Amazon of hostels.
Oh, really?
So you can really trust the ratings because there's tons. It's like the hub,
I see.
mainly.
I see.
And a lot of the people on there have good like recos and comments and things like that.
Oh, my God.
Is that from LA to
This is
CVG?
from Las Vegas to Cincinnati. Looks like this one's, it's anywhere from like $100 to $150.
Yeah, which is not bad.
Dang. $105.
Yeah. What was that, Frontier?
Oh,
That's a return flight? I have no idea.
Is Allegiant its own
I've
carrier?
never used it. Again,
I think Allegiant might be its own thing.
Really?
I think it's yeah.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure because they fly out of CVG.
But I feel like they're probably going to be that airline that charges for even a carry-on or something. Like, they
Maybe.
make on dime. But that's still cheap.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'll have to ask my mom.
On Google, like the cheapest one was like $130 to Las Vegas, and I think it was like $200 something to return home. I was like,
Really?
altogether
It's not
to
bad.
get out there and back.
That's like nothing.
Because I realized, like going to one city, I think I like doing the city hopping. I really enjoyed that. It was really fun because it felt like it was fast at times, but it was also like off to the next city. It's like a whole nother adventure.
Right.
In like 3 days, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to a whole different city.
By yourself,
It's like a whole
yeah.
different thing. Never been there before. Not even just by yourself. It's just like a whole new slew of things to do. But yeah. So I just really like that type of trip, that city hopping. tons of fun. It's just like nonstop excitement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still not sure all the trips that I'll go on this year.
Yeah, so that was just another one. So it was the train thing, and then that, and then the other one I'm knocking around my head. I don't know if this would be solo or multi-people, just in general.
Yeah.
Is part of the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a little more difficult because it's like, how do you start on one part
and leave in like the middle
and
or
then
something?
Go for days and then somehow get back to your car? That's the issue. So if it's solo, that's more of an issue. But I'm thinking if you go between two decent sized cities, that maybe there's a bus. I don't know, because I don't know if I want to.
I feel like the Appalachian Trail is such a big thing that there's got to be an easy method of getting back to your car from one spot. So
what I'm planning on doing sometime this spring at the latest is doing like this real thoughtful post on hiking or Appalachian subreddits, something like that, like just to throw it out there. But it's not something you just like ask in a sentence, because then people will be like,
"Screw this guy."
Yeah, is this guy really thinking about doing it? So I really want to like formulate, like, I have X amount of days. I want to do this. This is what I've done past hiking. Is there a place kind of close to me where I can start in one and the other and somehow get back to my car?
Yeah.
Who knows?
People will help you out, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's another thing. So it's like, well, shit, I got a free bike that one time. Exactly. Someone might drive me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I kind of really want to do that now that I think about it. My mom even got me like an Appalachian Trail book for Christmas. So it's like all these things coming in line. Like, and we're doing the Gorge later this spring, which is fun. And but that's only like 2 nights and 3 days, 2 nights, but only. I said only we're going to be exhausted, I'm sure. But
it's a different kind of thing.
I kind of want to do a bigger hiking trip. So I usually do a lot of these like 2-night, 3-nighters. But yeah.
Have you ever done a bigger hiking trip?
Like with my father, I feel like we went down there for more than 2 nights, but no, definitely not. In the Gorge, I think the longest I've ever done was 3 days, 2 nights, just because.
Gotcha.
You could probably do longer, like looping around, but a lot of the trails I select are just perfect for that. Really,
yeah,
pretty much.
It fits in that time window.
Because it's like a big football shaped area.
Yeah,
Red River Gorge, so it's not like you can go like one direction for like infinity. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice. It's all exciting.
So those are the big 3. Do you have any knocking around your head, like ideas for
so
how you want to spend your time?
The ones that are firm are the Baltimore trip that we're going on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That you totally forgot about.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's definite.
We never figured out if Patrick's going with us on that one or not. So I don't think he is. Otherwise, he would have confirmed by now.
Right.
But that's going to be me, you, and Dave. And I think, is Heater going with us or is he not?
I don't think so.
Okay, so is it just me, you, and Dave then?
And then Dave has a friend, I believe.
Oh, and Dave's bringing a friend. Got you. So I've already, and this is for a horse race.
Yeah.
So I've already prepped Alex to know that I'm going on another horse race.
And it's not going to be a relationship shakeup like last time. No.
Well, you never know.
I'll be there too, so I'll be like, no. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but that'll be fun.
Yeah, that will be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
And
I'm
when
looking
is that?
forward.
Jesus, I don't even remember.
That's like mid-May. It's in May.
Because it's for. Oh, right. That's right. Because we couldn't do the Gorge. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me look. May is going to be packed for me. So, yeah, Preakness happens. We're leaving on that Thursday, right? So that's going to be the 18th. And probably coming back Saturday or Sunday. Because we wanted to have another day in the city just to explore.
Are we Airbnb-ing it there?
We haven't made that plan yet, dude. We might as well.
All right, we'll have to talk to Dave.
I'll have to talk to Dave. I mean, I could stay in the car, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure Dave has higher standards than that.
Right.
So we'll talk to Dave about that. But yeah, Preakness is going to be awesome, and Baltimore is going to be awesome. I'm very excited about that trip.
I have an unlimited drinking ticket too, right?
You do.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you paid. What was it? Like an extra $10 or $20?
Yeah, that was a good choice, Dave.
Yeah, so that's the 18th in May. The weekend before that, I'm going to South Carolina with some friends. So they were brides for Dustin's birthday.
Oh, that's fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we'll probably leave. I'll probably take that Friday off, leave that Thursday night, go South Carolina. We have no idea what we're going to do yet. So.
It's one of those like you did in Chicago?
Probably.
Cool.
Something like that. It'll be a weekend trip. We'll probably actually get a place to stay, though.
Yeah.
I won't stay in a car. It depends.
It should be warm, yeah.
Yeah. We've looked into, they have places on the beach where you can just bring a tent.
Yeah, okay. I was going to bring up like camping spots just because that's super cheap. And it's, I don't know, I'd rather sleep in a tent than a car for some reason.
I mean, I'd rather sleep in a tent than a car, too. Especially if it's warm. But I'd rather sleep in a hotel than anywhere.
Well, yeah.
But it depends how much money.
sleeping.
Right? True. So that's the weekend before that. I've also been knocking around in my head the idea of a Seattle trip.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite cities.
I know. But I've always wanted to go to Seattle, and I wanted to go to PAX West. So I always go to PAX East in Boston. That's where that's the video game convention I go to in Boston.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to go to PAX West for a while.
And that's in Seattle?
It's in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking about going there and maybe taking Mitch. Me and Mitch might go.
Yeah.
And on top of the video games, also do some hiking.
Oh, okay.
Because Seattle has mountains.
Yeah, I
and
would
stuff.
love to hike out there.
So that sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
Taking a few days for that.
A few days.
Yeah.
So you'd definitely be flying out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm jealous for that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So there's that. And I've been thinking about a few other things, but that leaves a lot more vacation days.
Yeah.
So I've still got a lot more opportunities. I'd like to do something later in the year this year because last year I didn't have enough vacation days to do anything towards the end of the year because I spent most of them on the Canada trip and Boston and all that other crap that I did.
Did you buy a week?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I always got to buy a week.
Yeah. I did in my first 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
So I only had 2 weeks, like a noob. Like a peasant.
Now you had one vacation that took almost 2 weeks.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
It would not have worked.
Everybody at work always convinced me early on to get by the week. So now I understand the virtues of it.
It's so worth it. And this year we just get 2 more vacation days for no reason, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because the personal days?
Well, so something like that. They changed it around so people that are beneath a certain amount of years work experience get 2 more vacation days.
Oh.
So the people that have been there for a while are angry because they didn't get those their entire time that they worked at the company.
Whatever.
But we get 2 more days because of it. So
be
that's
happy
pretty
for
awesome.
everybody else.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, so Seattle, I don't know what else. So that's like why I'm listening to your ideas and I'm like, let's see which one of these will work.
Oh, yeah, the train thing. You're like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would take up, I would say, 5, 6, 7, probably 7 days, vacation days with a weekend in between.
That's so awesome.
With a weekend. So it'd be like a 9-day, 10-day trip.
Oh, my God. Oh, shoot. I'm leaving out like the biggest one. My dad wants to go to Germany.
Oh, right.
I can't believe neither of us even forget. Yeah, so we're planning that. We're in pre-production.
Man, that might round you out already.
Yeah,
so when was that?
Actually, that kind of takes the place of the Canada trip in terms of days, probably.
Yeah, because that'll be over a week.
Definitely. Sure. It'll be in June if we do it.
And plus, that feels like one of those trips where you'd want a day or two when you get back.
To recuperate.
At least a day or
easy.
a weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the time changes. Yeah, you'd almost have to work in one of those. But that would be like the crown of that year.
It'd be enormous.
Yeah.
Never been to Europe before.
Yeah, me either. I always wanted to go, but I feel like it's one of those things I'm just like, I keep pushing off like, that'll be like an older trip. Like when I'm older. I don't know.
Yeah. But now that you're bringing up Tijuana, though, it'd be sweet to go to Mexico sometime in the winter.
Yeah, I've never been to Mexico.
You know, I haven't either. Especially in the wintertime when it's all cold.
That's true, because that would be a good later in the year trip. Because I don't really feel like doing it now. I don't know why. I'm just not mentally there. But yeah, you're right, because Las Vegas, all those cities would be great in the wintertime.
Be fantastic. Yes.
Maybe if I just don't come up with anything, I'll just save everything for that.
Yeah, because summer, it's easy to take vacations in the summertime.
Yeah, because everything's warm. Yeah.
But saving them up for like the winter or the October, November window when there aren't usually that many vacations, you'll really love a vacation around that time.
That's true.
That's what I usually do. So a couple years ago, I spaced it out really well. I went to Boston, then New York, and then I went to Florida in like October.
Yeah.
And rounded it out with San Francisco in December. So it was like perfect.
Okay. 4
different quadrants of the calendar.
Nice. Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to handle it. But sometimes when we go on these giant trips, they take all the vacation days and you just can't get around it.
Yeah. I tend to just do it all in spring, summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's exciting.
It is very exciting.
Yeah. I'm just happy to start thinking about it.
I am too.
It's like this winter just seems like it's dragging on and on.
I
need to start doing
stuff. It's also hardly feels like winter.
Yeah, it's been like yo-yoing like crazy.
It's been like 70 degrees this weekend.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
I think Sunday is supposed to get 70.
Yeah, dude. We should play baseball. We should go play some sports.
Yeah. Well, Sarah's going to be in town. So I like have mentally been prepping to like do wintry stuff. And now it's going to be like flipping 70. So now I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And I haven't really been active outside of the city. We kind of talked this earlier before the podcast. Like, I don't know what to really do, I guess, because I've biked, here and there, but it hasn't been like warm where it's like, oh, I can lay out and do this or hang out outside for a long time doing that.
Yeah.
I just haven't had that since I've
you've lived downtown. Yeah.
Right. So now it's like, oh crap, this is like the first really warm weekend where it's gonna stay warm. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
A lot of fun things to figure out.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break. Be right back with P Funk and Fresh Show episode 40.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Episode 40 of the P Funk and Fro Show.
Ooh, that's a lot. That's many episodes.
Yeah, dude. We've been doing this for a while. We're weathered. We're veterans.
So that's like 10 months, right?
10 months?
Yeah.
40 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo,
yep.
Almost to a year.
Yeah, if we're doing 4 episodes a month, yeah. That's
which we
10
kind of
months.
have been. We haven't really skipped at all.
We haven't missed a week.
Yeah, we haven't. That's kind of crazy.
We haven't missed a single week.
If someone would have said you would be doing this for 10 months without skipping 1 week.
1 week.
Even through the vacation gamut, you know, part of the year.
Yep.
I would be like, no, there's no way.
No way. Yep.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah, because when I was gone, we recorded 2 episodes in a day.
Yeah.
And then when you were gone, we had Dave on the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
In your stead, and we called you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we made it work.
Yeah.
We made it work, man. Yeah, can you think about that? Do you remember the first time we did this?
I remember
the first
doing
podcast?
I remember doing the double one back to back. Now it just feels like,
Podcast-a-thon?
Jesus, how did we do that? Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'm like, how did we talk for 2 hours?
We talked about nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when you first get to know a person.
That's true.
And you can just go from tangent to tangent because you know nothing about that person.
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
really
'cause
exciting.
There's like nuances to everything at that point, yeah.
Yeah, and we obviously knew each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Not to the extent that we know each other now.
Right.
But still, like, it's almost like meeting a new person because every story that we'd already discussed, we hadn't discussed on the podcast yet.
Right, yeah.
So it was still, we could just talk about absolute nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, there are patterns to my tangents. They will end up in the same places eventually.
Right.
So they have to be curated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, I can't believe it. I do remember the first podcast, and it was just like this doesn't suck. That's it. And that was the threshold that we used. Because I remember thinking, like, there's no way we're going to post this first one on the internet. But it was so good. Or it was so not
natural.
bad.
Yeah, it was more natural than I felt like it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not trying to toot our own horns here. But
no, I know what you mean.
it was just, it just went more fluid than I thought it would be.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, even though I'm, like, stumbling over my words right now.
We can't all be word
They can't all be
ballerinas.
winners. That's what
Can't all be singers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but on that first podcast, I remember we talked a lot about video games.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
And video games are very prevalent in our lives right now, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm getting back into them a little bit.
Yeah, because you were in a lull.
I was in a
You're
lull.
in a big
And
lull.
honestly, I'll say, now that I think about it, now that you brought it in that light,
Mhm.
getting back into it, I think the fact that, long story short, my Chromebook, when I go on a beta channel, like the beta operating system build, I have the ability to have the Google Play Store. And that also gives me the ability to have Android games. And Android games, since the last time I was playing them years ago, have become like much better than they used to be.
Actually good.
Yeah, actually really good. And like name brand like Lego and Disney and things like that. Like the bigger brands are actually making bigger games for Apple and Android phones and tablets and computers now.
Yeah.
So just the fact of going onto that beta channel and able to do Android apps on my Chromebook kind of got me back into like gaming. So I was like gaming in my bed, you know, before going to sleep or whatever, watching TV. And now I'm getting back into my PC gaming. And now I told you earlier before the podcast, I have that long HDMI cable from my tower to my TV now. So now I'm playing games with my wireless Xbox One controller in my living room through my PC. And that's kind of like changed everything. So now I'm like in a comfort, kind of like how console people play their games.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so now I can like comfortably just sit in the living room and play.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like those reasons alone kind of got me back into gaming, I think.
It's funny. It sounds like the whole new horizon of the Android App Store made you excited about games in general. So you look at this and you're like, there's so many new things that I can do now that are easily accessible because it's on your Chromebook, which is your favorite way to browse the internet now.
Exactly. Plus, I have it's like Android games with a iChip from Intel, so it's like everything plays like
yeah.
So it's imagine having like even an i3 in a phone would just be like way overkill. That's basically so any Intel chip on a Chromebooks, because Chrome's like really light operating system, and it's more. I would liken it more to like a mobile operating system than to like a Windows or an Apple. And so like having an iChip like i3 up to i7 on a Chromebook is like lightning fast.
Way more than you would ever need for Android apps.
For now, for a couple years now, yeah. So, would I love an i5 instead of an i3 in my Chromebook? Hell yeah. Do I need it? No. But yeah, so I can play all games basically on the Google Play Store easily. And they're pretty good, and a lot of them are free, so it was a nice segue back into gaming a little bit. I think when it gets warmer out, I'll go back to not playing, but whatever.
Yeah, it comes and goes in waves.
Right.
Whatever you feel like doing at the time.
Yeah. And I guess I started playing Diablo. Diablo 3.
Didn't you say you played through the whole game?
I beat Diablo earlier in the week, but I still have like 2 more acts to go.
Is it expansions or something, or
DLC
packs?
Expansions.
Gotcha.
So I played Act 1 through 3 on Diablo 3.
Okay.
And that was fun. But I kind of scratched my itch of that style of gameplay, because I just basically out of nowhere I was like, I really want to play Diablo 2, and then people convinced me, and I looked into it more, and I was like, I might as well just do Diablo 3. Plus it was on sale for $20 with the expansion, so I was like,
why not?
Yeah, this is kind of like everything in the universe is telling me to go Diablo 3, so I did it, and I do not regret it one bit because it's a fun game.
Yeah, that game sat on my shelf for like an entire year.
Yeah,
or 2 years even.
But that's the type of game that you can wait and still get into it.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Because the graphics don't look like aged at all or anything like that. Just because those style of games aren't super graphic intense, anyways.
You don't play them for the graphics,
right?
Yeah. It's all the gameplay.
Yeah, it looks good, but you're right.
So outside of Diablo and Android games, have you been playing anything else?
Oh, yeah, Watch Dogs 2. That's what I'm currently in. So everything kind of led up to Watch Dogs 2. So I started playing it when I first got it, and then I just stopped just because I don't, like you said, waves.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad I'm continuing playing Watch Dogs 2 because I love that world. Even though the first one got kind of like mixed reviews, I loved it. I really loved it. And so the setting of Watch Dogs 2 is in San Francisco, and ad nauseum, my West Coast trip, I visited San Francisco, but getting deeper into the game, some missions, open world games, the more you play, the more parts of town you get familiar with. Yeah. Because like the cities in these open world games now are huge.
Very big, yeah.
So this one mission, I remember I stopped it, and I remember my Airbnb, to avoid hills in San Francisco, I would have to curl around to like the coast of the bay. Okay. And kind of like follow the bay into it. Yeah. Just because I was flat. Yeah. And I was like in my car in the game, and I was like, I'm going to go that way and see if it looks familiar, if I see anything familiar. I start going that way. I'm like, I literally rode my bike on this street right on that sidewalk. I've got pictures in front of that building in real life. And it's that weird feeling of being familiar, like in a familiar area, like this is freaky. In a game.
That's awesome.
In my Lazy Boy. So I kept going, and then I saw that there was a river, and I was like, there's no way they put this like bridge that I have a photo of. It's a pretty unique bridge. It was pretty neat. And I noticed that there was a baseball field right next to where that bridge was. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I get up to the baseball field, and then I go around it, and I go to the river, and the bridge is exactly like it is in real life. It's got this huge counterweight, so it's meant to lift up for like boats to go in and out. Yeah. So it's got this huge counterweight on the one side of it. That's why I took a photo of the bridge, because I was like, this looks crazy. Like it's huge.
You say for boats to go underneath it?
Yeah. So the bridge lifts up.
So how big is this river then?
It's really not that big.
I was gonna say though. Yeah. But for boats, it must be a decent sized river.
I'll have to show you, like, you can't show photos on, I don't even know the name of the bridge. Okay. But, I could Google it real quick.
Okay, that's cool, yeah, just while you're talking.
But, yeah, exactly. So I went to that, and I was just, like, I stopped in the car in the video game, and it was one of those, like, I couldn't believe it, and I just got out of the car and walked around, and I was like, I can't believe, because the first Watch Dogs, I remember watching a video about the team. Do you know what team?
Ubisoft. It's a Ubisoft game.
Yeah. I feel like we've talked about it.
I can't remember which Ubisoft it is.
Yeah. But I remember watching a video and of the development of the first game in Chicago, and they spent a lot of time in Chicago to actually get the feel of certain areas.
Mm-hmm. Ubisoft Montreal.
Okay. Why is the name of the bridge is not coming up on Google Maps for some unknown reason?
You should get in your Google Photos and just look for bridges. It probably put it under the bridges category.
Oh, I'm sure it did, but I don't know if I have the name of it. Maybe it's Amco.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's why I always think the people that live in the cities that always get games made in them must love that.
Exactly. I was jealous. I was back in the day, I was always like, it'd be so cool to have, because then you could like drive around and just like wreak havoc in the city that you're in. But so I think it's called Amco.
The Amco Bridge or something?
I guess. Google Maps just has that.
Do you have the photo? I'll use it as the cover image for the podcast.
Yeah, I can definitely get the photo.
Okay, cool.
But that's it. It's right next to the stadium. And then just to show you the counterweight, it's right behind me at this point.
Yeah, but I remember because I listened to a lot of podcasters and YouTubers and stuff, and they were playing through Watch Dogs, and they're from San Francisco, and they were running around. And I feel like with games like this, it's really easy. Oh yeah, I can see that counterweight.
So it's huge. There's two big concrete things.
Gigantic.
Like they're big. Like they're bigger than. They're about the size of a bus, vertical.
Yep.
On each side, so there's two of them. And in the game, I came up this way, and I saw the big... I was like, oh, my God. Because it's a pretty cool design of a bridge, so it lifts up like that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So, yeah, if you go to San Francisco and then Amco, it's by the stadium.
Gotcha. But, yeah, like, the people that I was listening to that are from San Francisco say they did a really good job of recreating what they could. Because, obviously, they can't do a one-to-one.
Because that would be way big, even for today's... terms of video games.
So they were saying certain areas were cut out completely, so it goes from A to C instead of A to B to C in some areas, but you said, so many places are one-to-one, or at least close enough that it makes up for it.
Oh, definitely. And then driving up to the Golden Gate Bridge, it was the same thing, and then I actually was on the Golden Gate Bridge in that game and got out of my car onto the pedestrian paths and I looked over at this one spot that I remember, and like down underneath is this like old style like armory type thing. Yeah. I was like, that's there too. I'm like, this is so weird. And then you see Alcatraz out there. Like, they did a great job with that.
That's freaking cool.
So I'm having a good time with that.
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Especially like, I feel like if I didn't visit that city, it would be not. I just wouldn't have that feeling, and that's part of the coolness of this game.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I'm excited to visit Seattle. Is I don't know if you ever heard seen Infamous Second Son or any of the Infamous games on PlayStation. They're PlayStation exclusives.
Oh, okay.
So on PC, but Infamous Second Son was in Seattle, and the developer is actually in Seattle.
Oh wow! Oh, so they had an intimate knowledge of that, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
I really enjoy Seattle.
But oh man, yes, I hope I go back. It'd be an interesting turn of events if you ended up being able to come with me. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I love that damn city.
God, totally. You want to go to PAX? That'd be so fun.
What time of year is it?
It's I think last year it was in like August, September area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if I'm not doing had done a ton, with money wise and actual vacation day wise,
Sweet.
Put it on the list.
Yeah.
Potential.
That
depends on finances and things like that.
Of course. But it's interesting hearing them talk about things like that and when they were putting different things in the game, because obviously Seattle has the Space Needle.
Yeah.
And they got to put the Space Needle in it, but the people that are like from the Space Needle's like foundation or board or something made them put the stipulation that you can't jump off the top of the Space Needle because they don't want people to be able to.
Oh, I see.
Because you're a superhero in the game.
Oh, okay.
So you can climb most buildings, but they didn't want you to be able to go to the top and jump off because they thought that might be bad for...
Still a little lame, but yeah.
I agree. It's lame. And like, even if a superhero jumps off, they're going to
You know what I'm going to do when I get home after this podcast?
Are you going to jump off the...
Go... I want to see it. Just to... Yeah, I feel like I can in Watch Dogs. I don't know. That'd be weird if it was all of a sudden a disclaimer come up due to the San Francisco port of...
Jump off a building?
Yeah.
What are you going to jump off of in Watch Dogs?
The bridge.
Oh, the bridge.
No, I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny. But this is just because the Space Needle is like an organization.
Yeah, that is weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I almost want to Google part of that game just to see.
You should. It's a beautiful game. It's an absolutely beautiful game. I don't know how you and your PC Master Race would see it being on a PS4, race. But it's a beautiful game.
Right. It is fantastic. The PS4?
It's a PS4 exclusive.
Okay, so I'm sure on PS4 it looks good.
It looks real good.
I mean, just you know how older games look.
Yeah.
Looking back.
Yeah.
They always don't look as good as you think they do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But now this game's like a 2014 game, I think.
Oh, that's pretty recent.
So yeah,
that's neat.
3 years ago now. But yeah, dude, it's exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I would almost like playing that game just to run around Seattle again.
I would love for you to. I platinumed it in 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Are there ferries in it?
I don't
like the boat kind, not the pixie
not the pixie kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are ferries in it.
Are there?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't think there. Well, actually, I don't want to say left or right. I can't remember exactly.
That was a big coolness
I don't think so. I think you have to use the bridges.
Oh, I see. Well, that would make the game really huge if you had to use a ferry.
Because it wasn't a huge game. It was a big game, just because open world games nowadays are big.
Yeah.
But it wasn't gigantic.
That's true. Kind of how you said. You can't do a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Size. But yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to almost have it like GTA or Just Cause 2 style.
Just Cause 2 was gigantic.
I think it's the biggest. Is it still the biggest?
I can't remember.
Just Cause 3 is just as big, I think.
Is it?
I remember back in the day, like that was it. They compared it next to the current Grand Theft Auto, and it just like dwarfed it. I remember I was like, "Holy crap!" And Just Cause 2, you could get into a jet, and it took like 5 to 10 minutes just to fly across the entire board. Like seriously, in one of the fastest jets.
I believe it.
I really enjoyed that game.
I know.
Just Cause 2.
You had some funny stories from that game. Did you ever tell your stories from that game on the podcast?
I don't know.
They're pretty good stories.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking my favorite one's picking up that dude out in the desert and his buddy. I didn't tell that story in the podcast.
I can't remember.
Yeah, because Tom and I were playing. Or no, was that just me? I think it was Tom and I. So do you want me to tell the story?
Might as well.
Okay.
Might as well.
So Just Cause 2 is a video game set in this fictitious like island type chain of a map.
Like a tropical island.
Different islands had different. There was like mountains where it was winter at the top, snowy and skiing, and then it would be like tropical down by the beach, up to the water. So it was like tropical beach to forest to high mountains on the big islands, and then the smaller islands had like there was desert like, and then it was more like, I don't know, Southeast Asia type island. So it was like really a video diverse
game. Like it had a lot of different.
Oh yeah, it was. I had like regions. Yeah. So this one time I was flying this attack helicopter pretty far for minutes. For I would say like 5 minutes across this like central area over the ocean and into this desert island. And this desert island was pretty big, and it had like valleys and like canyons and things like that. And I'm like flying around in this canyon. I don't even know where I was going. So just imagine like out in the desert, like this big rock formation that's flat on top.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big. It was something like that in this video game. So I'm flying through the desert. To preface everything, I was playing Just Cause 2, but it was the PC multiplayer mod that allowed basically unlimited amount of people, just however many people were on it, into your game. So it's basically one community game shared map.
So
basically.
So you were playing online on this gigantic map with how many people at the same time?
I think at this time it got up to like 400 or 500 people.
So 400 or 500 people running around this big open map at the same time.
It was nuts.
So
if you play Just Cause 2, it's just explosions and grappling hooks and cars flying everywhere.
It's insane chaos.
Yeah.
So you're flying through the desert.
Yeah, I'm flying through the desert, and everybody's random, and you kind of just see. Once you log in, you don't have like a login name or anything. You just put whatever you want. Like my butt stinks, 52, and that's just your name, whatever you feel like it. Anyway, so it's basically just a bunch of Just Cause people flying around, and I feel like at this time there's probably like 300 or 400 people online. So even though the map's huge, there's just people kind of everywhere. But in the obscure parts of the map, you still wouldn't come across people for a long time.
Yeah.
So
because it's so big.
Yeah, it's so big. So I was flying this attack helicopter through this canyon, and out of nowhere on this big peak, flat peak, I see this dude just standing there, and I'm like, whoa. Even though there's hundreds of people on this map, it was kind of odd to see someone that far out in the desert. And so I flew up to him and just hovered, and I could easily just blow him away. And you get points for like more guns if you kill people.
Right.
So there's incentive to just murder everybody. So I flew up to him, and he could have a rocket launcher. I have no idea. And I'm just sitting there hovering with all the power in the world behind my attack helicopter, basically like an eagle looking at this ant, basically. And he just sits there, and I'm like, this guy's not doing anything. I could just kill him with a flick of a switch. So I land my helicopter next to him, and I walk up to him, and he looks like he's away from his mouse keyboard, so he's like away from the game.
Yep.
And but then he like turns to me, and I'm like, oh crap, this guy's active. And we kind of do like you can like type in like codes and like dance or like wave. So we were kind of doing that back
just
and
like
forth.
interacting with each other.
Yeah, just kind of interacting, but you can't really talk to each other. There's hundreds of people, and there's one general chat box. And since there's hundreds of people, there's people spamming in it and like 420 this and all that kind of just goofy stuff.
Right.
So I saw his name, and we were talking, and we would type real quick back and forth, and you just put like, hey, blah blah blah, look at me, do this, blah blah. Anyways, so we actually started a conversation, and my helicopter started sliding off the cliff. I was like, oh my god. So I ran to it and got in and just started it as it was like free falling as the engine was starting, and then I recovered it and like brought it back up, and he was like, that was pretty sweet, like save or whatever. Yeah. So then he hops in my helicopter. And I'm like, this is kind of weird, like, because in this game, everybody's trying to kill you. So carting around some rando on the internet in the back seat of a helicopter.
That's a serendipitous situation.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of cool.
That doesn't happen.
So I pick him up, and I think Tom and I are on TeamSpeak.
Okay.
And so I'm like, Tom, I just picked up this rando in a desert, and he's just flying in the bay. He's like, what? He's just like chilling in your back seat? I'm like, yeah, I don't know why, but he's just like chilling. So he's flying, and then I'm looking at the general chat, and he's like, hey, do you mind swinging by and picking up my buddy? We got like separated, and he's also in the desert. And he said he's over on this other peak. And I was like, sure. So I just banked the helicopter. Sure enough, oh yeah, because his name's Mr. Tittles, and his friend's name was Captain Boomface. Oh no!
Did you forget?
Shoot. Mr. Tittles, and oh no!
You have to text Tom.
Captain Crunchface.
Dude, you're gonna have to text Tom.
Oh man, I really wish it, because his friend's name was pretty funny, but we can. Oh man, I cannot believe I
just
can't
wait on
remember.
the text back.
Yeah, wait.
So you're picking up his friend. So
I pick up his friend, and or no. The guy I pick up is Captain Crunchface or whatever his name is. And then he's like, can you pick up my friend, Mr. Tittles? That's what it was, because his friend's name was more funny than his. Yeah, we don't need the captain. We'll just call him Captain Crunchface.
All right, whatever.
And so he's like, my friend, Mr. Tittles. I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm flying across the desert for minutes. And sure enough, off on the horizon, I see this lone dude also standing in the desert. No one else is around.
Nothing.
Right, because everybody else is blowing up everybody else in the cities.
Yeah.
So I like hover and like get down to him. Mr. Tittles jumps into my helicopter because there's 4 seats in the helicopter in the back. And I'm like, Tom, I just picked up this guy named Mr. Tittles, and now I'm carting around 2 people. He's like, what? Because everybody tries to blow you up. Or tries to steal your helicopter. Yeah. He didn't try to steal anything. He just casually walks over to the helicopter and bloop. And now you can like change the camera angle, and you just see 2 dudes in the back of the helicopter. And I'm just like, Tom, I'm coming to you. Because Tom and we would just defend this one bridge on the main island. Yeah. And anybody that tried to drive over it. So it was like our bridge.
Sure, just for the heck of it.
Humans just come up with their own mini games, when left to their own devices.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
So I was like, hey, Mr. Captain Crunchface and Mr. Tittles on the little chat thing. I'm like, my friend Rossman Aroma or whatever and I are just defending this bridge. And do you want to like help us defend it? And they're like, yeah, it's cool with us. So they fly with us. And as I'm flying over the ocean to the other island, Mr. Tittles accidentally jumps out. And no one noticed. Neither of us noticed it for like a minute.
When you're flying over the ocean?
Over the ocean. And Captain Crunchface in the chat in all caps is like, oh no, we lost Mr. Tittles. And I instantly just banked the hell, like hit the brake. I'm just like, like, because I'm like flying close to the water. Yeah. And I instantly banked the helicopter. I'm like, we gotta rescue Mr. Tittles. And like normally when people get lost or get abandoned or something, from your friend out in the middle of nowhere, it's just easier to log out and log back in, and you can type in / whatever to your friend, and you instantly show up next to your friend.
Okay.
So I was like, I hope he didn't like exit out because he didn't remember my name, and maybe, and who knows, because there's just too many people. And so I banked the helicopter in like this dramatic movie fashion. I'm like, Captain Crunchface, we're gonna get Mr. Tittles. And so then it became a rescue mission out in the middle of the ocean, and like, you know, in video games, there's no like land masses to kind of understand your direction. And I didn't really look at my direction in the map. I kind of just guesstimated maybe where he would have jumped out. That's how big this map is. I was like, I'll have to maybe go back the way I came. So I like banked the helicopter, and then
you're searching this grandiose ocean.
Right. And you have to be kind of close to see a name pop up.
Yeah.
So it's not like something that you can see far off. So I kind of guess the direction I was coming from as I turn.
Yeah. And
I fly back that way, and I'm like, oh no, we lost him, and I don't know if he remembers it. Blah, 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 and he can't really like type and warp back to us over the ocean because I don't know. Anyways, so and I was just kind of like playing along with the whole thing, you know, and I didn't want to cheat like that.
Sure.
So we're flying, and sure enough, out in the distance, I see this little buoy bobbing up and down. He didn't log out. He didn't swim anywhere. He was just hoping that we would come back. So Mr. Tittles is out in the middle of the ocean, just like, guys, and then. I never really thought of this, but his point of view was probably like nothingness, and all of a sudden this helicopter flying back, and he was probably like, yeah!
Oh my,
so then I like hover down close, and he grapples up to it, and he gets back in, and I was like, yes, got Mr. Tittles. And then, so that was like a little dramatic rescue mission. And then I fly back, and Tom's blowing people up on this bridge. And I come back, and I'm like, you guys want to get your own helicopters? They're like, no, this is kind of fun watching you guys blow up this bridge. So I guess they were probably like just eating or just like on their own team speak because they could talk to each other.
Right.
And Tom and I could talk to each other.
Yeah, so it was like whatever.
Yeah. So I think they were just, and then Tom and I were just blowing up. They just had a fun time watching us just because people would like get shot at and be like, hey, what the hell? You know, like, and then they would respawn back at the same city because you would respawn at the spawn point closest to where you died.
Yeah.
And so people would start, you could tell like the same people were coming, and they started getting pissed that they couldn't go through this major thoroughway. So then we would get like some heavy resistance from some people just getting butt hurt on the internet. You know, like, who are these dudes in attack helicopters always at this bridge, always blowing me up? So you could tell people were getting frustrated because they'd keep coming back in the same names. And Tom and I were on TeamSpeak so we could coordinate our attack. And I'd be like, oh, bum face 52's back. You know, and be like, he's in the woods hiding. He's trying to get that rocket launcher. Things like that. So we had a fun time. So that's hilarious. Yeah, that's my favorite story from that. But there's so many. It was so fun to play that.
It's one of my favorite stories that you tell me.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite stories.
Mr. Tittles.
Every time you tell that story, it makes me want to play online games again.
Yeah, just like random people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's that's kind of what makes a lot of those types of games fun, is just the random encounters.
The interactions with people, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first couple times, like I can't remember specific games or events, but the first time where you hit like wave in a game, you know, early on in video gaming online, at least for me, when I would just hit wave, it might have been Just Cause 2, I don't know.
Like the wave animation?
Yeah, and then the other person like does it back, you're just like, whoa, this is weird. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, like if you don't know the language of the other person.
There's a certain excitement that you get.
That you know there's another human that could be in like Japan and he's waving, because there's no language barrier. It's just like visual things.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of get that with the VR with the chat rooms. That's pretty cool. But that's like similar. It goes from a janky mod for Watch Dogs 2 on PC.
Or Just Cause 2.
Yeah, Just Cause 2. To VR, so you're like talking to someone in Germany. Right. So it's like in a span of 10 years, it's like
that's how
far we've come. Yeah, now I can like physically like wave and look at a dude. Yeah,
it's very exciting.
Yeah,
it's very exciting. Well, thanks for the story, Anthony. I think that's a good spot to wrap up.
Yeah, even though really?
I think so.
Wow, I'd like bogarted this whole second half.
I mean, to wrap up, I've been playing Pokemon recently. I've been playing Zelda recently.
Yeah,
I finished BioShock recently.
Oh, the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
BioShock's fantastic.
And you hadn't played that, right?
I had. Yeah.
Oh, you had?
So this was my second time playing through it.
I bet it was like rereading a good book.
It was just like that. And I feel like I appreciated it more this time.
Really? Oh, okay.
Because at this point, I've played more games.
Oh, I see.
So I have a more well-rounded kind of, perspective of games in general.
Yeah.
So BioShock's cool, and Pokemon is Pokemon. This new Pokemon game is fantastic.
And that's on what? That's on
what Pokemon?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the 3DS.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty sweet. And I'm playing through a Zelda game again, Skyward Sword, for anybody that knows the difference between the Zelda games.
Yeah.
It's on the Wii.
So you're eventually going to get the new Zelda game for the Switch?
Well, so the Switch is coming out soon.
Yeah.
And I've heard mixed reports about, so the new Zelda game's coming out for the Wii U and the Switch.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So I've heard mixed reports about the different versions of the game. I've heard people that have played both that had frame rate issues on the Switch that didn't have frame rate issues on the Wii U.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Since I didn't get a Switch pre-order, I'm probably not going to get one at launch because I didn't just...
Because now it's hard to get,
Yeah, and every time Nintendo comes out with a new console, they have this artificial demand where they constrict, they bottleneck the supply network so people want it more.
And there's more news articles.
And when you see it, you buy it because you know it's hard to find.
That makes sense, yeah.
So they did that with the Wii initially, and the Wii sold like 100 million units. So that I probably won't get the Switch at launch, and I'm probably going to wait until I hear more reviews from people talking about which version is better, if one of them's better, because really the new console's version should be better, but since it's the Switch, I don't know really how much more powerful this new console is going to be.
Yeah, it's got the Tegra X1 or whatever from NVIDIA. It's a pretty powerful mobile chip, but again, it's not like
it's a mobile chip,
a standalone box chip, where you can plug into a wall. Those processors are always going to be, I see what you're saying.
Right, yeah. So who knows? I probably won't get the Switch at launch, like I said. I might end up standing in line at like a Meijer at midnight to see if I can get one. Just some random place that nobody would go at a midnight launch.
That sucker.
You're right, actually.
Yeah. Is Alex getting one? I believe
she said she's gonna get. She didn't pre-order one either.
Oh, I thought she did. Oh.
But she's probably gonna. She says she wants to get one around launch time.
Okay.
So it'd be sweet to both have one. Or just know, like, any...
It still seems like a cool device, yeah.
It is a really neat... It's the most powerful
mobile
handheld Nintendo's ever done, or anyone's ever done. Because Skyrim's going to be on it. You play Skyrim mobily, which is awesome. So it's exciting. Who knows what's going to happen? So who knows what's going to happen with the Switch, but that's what I've been playing recently, really. And I want to play Life is Strange. It's been sitting on my shelf forever. And you keep recommending that game on the PS4.
Well, it's just the time of my life, and yeah, I savored that one. That was fun.
Yeah.
I hope that production studio or whatever you call it does another one.
They are
like that. Are they?
I think they confirmed it. I'm pretty sure.
I think we did talk about
I think we looked it up in GameStop.
I think
when we were trolling around GameStop
in our mall, weekly, like mall rats. Yeah.
Weekly mall ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I will buy that. I'll actually spend the money on that just if nothing else, because I don't know if listeners know this, but I'm pretty stingy with games because I'm used to Steam sales.
Yeah, he's a PC gamer. He doesn't get games for.
But when I love something, I'll actually pay full price to kind of just throw money at stuff I like. Like here, you deserve it. I love this. Yeah.
Yes.
To a certain extent,
right.
I wouldn't buy it for $100. But yeah, okay, that's cool. Oh, and I remember the name now. It's Captain Boom Sauce and Mr. Tittles. So after the whole story, I just kept thinking of Captain Crunch for some reason. Captain Boom Sauce and Mr. Tittles. I should look up their names on the internet, see if I can find them again.
You should.
Because it was one of those things where you would have to, because a lot of people didn't use their Steam names. I don't know.
Well, Anthony, in memory of Mr. Boom Sauce or whatever, Captain Boom Sauce.
Yeah, I think I actually am a Steam friend with Mr.
Are you
Tittles.
serious? They want to come on the podcast?
I haven't talked to them, and I accidentally messaged. I think it was. No, I'm friends with both of them on Steam. I'm pretty sure it is.
Well,
and Mr. Tittles.
Well, in memory of Captain Boom Sauce and Mr. Tittles, this has been episode 40 of the P Funk and Fro Show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be in contact.
That's funny. That's funny. I forgot. Yeah. Oh my God, my memory's terrible.
It's all good, man. We all get old.
Yeah.
We all get old someday.
Well, I hadn't thought of that. I mean, that was 10 years ago.
God, that's insane.
Or 7 years ago.
If you like this episode, we'll be back every Friday. Make sure to join the group at facebook.com/group/pfunkandfro. I'll probably be posting a Word doc with suggestions for book club and movie club sometime soon. So add your suggestions when I do post that. That's all we got to talk about this week, folks, but we'll be back next week. So until next time, we will see you later.
Later.